George, a great start to the day. P1 in FP1, perhaps less so in FP2. Just try and sum it up for us.
Yeah, it seems it was a similar thing last year. We were quickest on Friday and then was knocked out in Q2 on Saturday, and the car just changed a little bit. Even from the medium run in FP2, I felt strong. I was on a lap that was a good couple of attempts up, which would have put me inside the top four, and then put the soft tyres on and the car just wasn't working for me. So I think we understand a little bit why that is, and fortunately we've got the time to make improvements overnight, but yeah, it's fine margins.
Did the time of day of this session affect or alter the running plan at all? It seemed there was a lot more soft running, a lot more quali focus perhaps than race pace running, and that may be a focus for FP3 tomorrow. Is that fair?
Yeah, potentially. I think FP1 was a bit of a messy session, and perhaps more people put the emphasis on the quali runs now. But I think we'll go into Sunday a bit of an unknown. The track's been resurfaced. It's still not performing like any other circuit, so it's a true outlier here, which is cool in some regards. I think it's going to be really difficult to race because you can't drive offline, and I think you've seen with a few people now, myself included, you put one wheel off and there's no grip whatsoever. So don't really know what's going on in this Miami heat because that's a theme. But yeah, let's see tomorrow.
And what are your expectations for qualifying? Where do you think you'll be?
I think if we get things right, there's no reason why we can't be ahead of Ferrari and Aston Martin. That's the aim. And I think we've seen in these first four races now, it's really tight between those three teams. So if only that was for the win and for pole position, it would be incredibly exciting. But it's good because it shows that if we get things right, we can be rewarded and jump ahead of them. But I think we need to make some improvements overnight. We know we've got the potential because we saw it in FP1 and we saw it at the start of FP2. But for sure, we just need to get things aligned.
Lewis seemed quite frustrated. He tried to stay optimistic about how the car is feeling him performing here. What's your feeling in the car, and how does it compare to, firstly, Baku, but also, of course, Melbourne, where we saw you guys really come alive?
I mean, this is a team of winners. Everybody here wants to win, and anything less is of course, frustrating week after week. We know the journey we're on at the moment, and still trying to understand, still trying to grasp how to find a lot more performance to at least get us the best of the rest. And when we have sessions when we're not in that position, of course it's frustrating. We always want more, but that's the same for 19 out of 20 drivers on the grid. If there's only one person happy on a Saturday and one person happy on a Sunday, and that's the one who finishes first.
Lando, good to see you. More traditional.
Great to see you too.
I know you're lying, but it's fine. More traditional Friday. What do you feel about the car? Very slippery out there.
Yeah.
Is it in a good place heading into Saturday?
I would say so. I think one of our best Fridays so far.
Okay, cool.
But just close, just good in terms of position. I don't think in terms of pace we're any better than where we've been in the past necessarily. Maybe a little bit ahead of where we were in some of the first few races. I think the upgrade we had in Baku has provided that little bit more support and help on the car this weekend, which is a good thing and what we're expecting, which is also good. But it just the position makes us look maybe a bit better than where we are. I think I did a very good lap, but 1 or 2 tenths, and I easily dropped 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. So could have also looked like a bad day if you just look at it from a position point of view. But the pace was good. I think it was a good Friday for us, so I'm happy about that.
Does that mean it's a little bit tricky to kind of understand where you're going to be tomorrow in qualifying? If you can get everything out of the car, you should be in for Q3, right?
It's kind of similar to the whole year. Like you make a 1 or 2 tenth mistake and you're punished in terms of position quite heavily, and you can be out in Q1 and you can get into Q3 because of these kind of things. So we'll see. I think Alpine look again back on pace, back where they should be, which is probably a little bit ahead of us. Yeah, I think there's plenty of things for us to work on tonight. So if we can work on them and maybe eke a couple more tenths out of the car, then I'll be more confident tomorrow that we can maybe get into Q3.